Rachel Ray's Nutrish Real Beef Pea Brown Rice Recipe Dog Food Review. So let's get into it, my friends. We're gonna break down everything that's in this bag, man. First of all, this is a 14-pound bag that I purchased for basically $25, which equates to $1.80 or $1.78 to be exact. The Mundo. You feel me? Um, Purchase this dog food at Shoppers. You know what I'm saying? And you see the paid on it. I didn't put it under the cart and slide it through. You know what I mean? Let's get into these ingredients. Let's get into the ingredients. Turn around back. You know what I'm saying? First of all, it says real beef. I don't know why it says real beef. I guess there's a fake beef out there somewhere. I guess this is like the internet, you know what I'm saying? The internet, you got fake beefs that turned into real beef, like this recipe. So first thing you see, beef. Next thing you see is beef meal. The beef is a good quality meat, you know what I'm saying? And it's really good for putting on weight. One thing about beef is really good on putting on that weight, and it gives just a different protein profile and a different fat profile than chicken and other things like that. So next, we're gonna get into the next ingredient, which is beef meal. This beef meal is basically bones, you know what I'm saying, and cartilage and different tough parts of the cow, maybe some hearts, but mostly like ground bone and different things like that, bone, feet. So it gives it a higher protein concentrate than if you just use regular beef. Next, you got soybean meal. The soybean meal is a short link protein, so this protein will be easily absorbed by the dog. You know what I'm saying? So that the dog can just absorb that protein real easily. I guess they put the soybean protein in there to raise the profile of the protein content of the meat. Next, you got whole grain corn. The whole grain corn is going to give it some fats. It's going to give it some carbs. You know what I mean? And it's just a lot of energy for the dog. Next thing you got is grain sorghum. Grain sorghum is a non-GMO. It's a holistic, old school grain. You know what I'm saying? It's high in protein and just a little bit less fat than corn. So, you know, with that being said, it's definitely similar to corn, but it's an ancient grain. It's non-GMO, so the dogs should be able to deal with it real easily and digest it real easily. Same thing with that whole grain corn. A lot of times they just use the one part of the corn, but when they use the whole corn, you know, it just gives it the whole full profile benefit of a corn. There's a lot of controversy with corn. People don't like it, but you know what I'm saying? It'll help keep some size and some, you know, energy up in your dog. Next thing you got chicken fat perturbed with tocopherols. So basically that's chicken fat and beef fat, you know, or chicken fat with pork fat together. That basically is going to give your dog some fatty acid, omega-6s and omega-3s in that chicken. Good for the skin, good for the bones, good for the eyes. And also this ground sorghum is very easy. The ground sorghum, grain sorghum, I mean, is real easy to digest by the dogs. Next, you got the brown rice. Brown rice is high in It's high in fiber, so that's good to help the dog, with the good bacteria that's in the dog's stomach, and it also will help the dog um, use the bathroom and clean his stomach out if there's anything in there, and promote good gut health, because that fiber is going to be eaten up by the good bacteria, which provides enzymes and helps break down foods. So it's just going to get a dog an overall healthy body. Next, we got pea starch. The pea starch is going to help bring this dog food together, keep it whole, keep it strong. The pea starch, it's got complex sugars in it that'll break down slowly over time, so the dog can have a well-balanced energy and insulin levels and all that kind of stuff, instead of the dog eating the food and becoming all extra hyper. This pea starch will help the dog become really, really calm and relaxed. Next, you got corn protein concentrate. That's just basically, corn gluten or whatever, protein concentrate. But that's just going to raise the profile of this dog food's protein higher. You want your dog food to be at least 22% protein, recommended by veterinarians for pregnant or nursing dogs. And in the bully world and in the dog game, we like to use very, very high protein foods, but we're not really thinking about the effects of that high protein, and we're not really thinking about the quality and the types. So it's a lot to go into these proteins. You know what I mean? You don't want to put too much of one protein and not enough of another, or you don't want to use a protein that just can't even be used by the dog, or one that's going to cause problems in the dog's stomachs. So what I'll say about this protein here, they just adding it just to bring that protein level up a little higher. Basically they don't really need to be higher than 22%. So in order to bring your levels up to what the level in this bag is, or most other bags, they're going to add things. They're not going to concentrate meat down and try to just use that. They're going to try to add different forms of proteins, maybe because they're cheaper, or maybe because the dog can absorb them better. It's no real way of knowing exactly why they add all these different things. You know what I'm saying? Because we're not the ones doing the studies. But what I would say is, they study these dog foods a lot. So, they test them out, and they're going to try to put out the best product they can for the most part. And that brings me back to the price points of these dog foods. You get what you pay for. 50 cent per pound dog food, garbage. You know what I'm saying? You can still feed it to the dog, and then some dogs may still actually be able to thrive off of it, but 50 to 50 cent per pound dog food is not good. If you want to figure out how to know how much per pound your dog food is, just divide the price of the dog food by the pounds. And also, it also depends on where you buy the dog food at and the brand. So it's more to it than just that. So, for example, if you buy dog chow at the grocery store, it's going to be very expensive. If you buy dog chow at Walmart, it's going to be cheaper. It's still the same dog chow that's probably not that great for your dog, but you're just going to pay more at the grocery store. Now, for instance, a bag like this, no matter where you buy this bag, it's going to be the same price. You're not going to get a discount on this. Maybe you will, but I doubt it. I don't think you will. It's going to be about this right here was a 14-pound bag. So if you equate it to a 30-pound bag, you might be able to get a 30-pound bag of this for $50 somewhere. Or, something like that. But for the most part, this is a $2 a bag dog food because it's boasting some quality nutrients at the top. And with that being said, the quality nutrients is, the number one ingredient being beef, and then the number two being beef. Technically, that means that beef was the most ingredient that they put in here. Is that true? I don't know. Does it matter? Not really sure. What it does matter is the effects that this dog food has on your dog, if your dog loves it, and if your dog gets sick off of it. So what I will say is, I did a review on another dog food, Rachel Ray's Nutris, the salmon recipe. It's probably going to be under this video because if I'm just releasing this video, if you look down, you'll be able to see this one. And I'm going to tell you right now, the dogs ate it and nobody threw up. Nobody had a bad stool. Nobody sniffed it. Nobody flipped the bowl over. They just crushed it. Now, my Cane Corso, of course, was real picky with it. She just drunk the water out of it and ate some of it and didn't really want to eat too much more of it. She's real bougie when it comes to dog food. But quick disclaimer, we feed mostly raw food now. And then we cook our food. So now you want to just think about it like this. You want to feed dog foods when you can. Always have a couple bags of dog food available. If you go to the grocery store, grab a couple bags. It might be expensive, but if you break it down, maybe you can feed less and you can make it to where it's kind of economical, maybe. For me, I spent $50 on 2 of these bags, this one and the other one, and I got 2 days out of each bag, but I really didn't get 2 days out of each bag. But I broke it down to where the dogs got the maximum amount of nutrition out of this. They got a nice bowl, they didn't get overfed, and nobody had any bad poo. So what I'll say, these grains that they have in here are high quality grains. And I think this is a good dog food, man. I'm not going to say that you should just feed this alone, but what I'll say is it's a good quality dog food. So let's get into some more of these ingredients. Next, on here you see you got the fish oil. That fish oil is very good in omega-6s or 3s. I can't really remember which one it is. But to me, they both the same. Okay, it says it right here. Helps the brain, helps it learn and be smart. You feel me? It says whole healthy blends for the happiest dog on the block. You feel me? Good heart with those healthy. Yeah, you need good carbohydrates if you want to have a good heart. And a good immune system, all that good shit. No poultry byproducts or meals or fillers, and no artificial preservatives or flavors. So they're using this vitamin C right here as a preservative, and the rosemary extract, that's good as well. And then you got the fish oil, so those are good things. Now, really, without getting into it, let's see this omega-6s and omega-3 levels. We got a 1.75 and a 15 for the omega-6s and the 3s. I like to add that number up, and that gives me a score of 9.2, almost a 2 when it comes to those. I don't know if that's high. I don't know if that's bad, but hey, it's something. 1% is better than 0%. So it's got a little bit of that in there. Maybe you don't want to have too much omega-6s and 3s, so that's pretty good to just have it there and be considerate when they put that fish oil in there. They didn't have to do it. Next, we'll get into the protein. We got 25% protein, 13% fat. The fat is really not that high, and the protein is really okay. It's good. It's a nice amount. 25 is pretty good. Like I said, us dog breeders, we like to use a 31 a 30. Is that good for the dog? It's probably not, because it's going to make the fur really tough and hard, and maybe it makes the skin a little dry to have so much protein in there. So 25% is probably good. It's a high number. It's over 20. It's over 22%, which is good for a nursing dog and pups. So you got 3% more. So that's pretty good. The next thing you have is this safely U.S. cooked with world's finest ingredients. Like I said, um, it's this symbol just lets you know. You can go online and learn that they're not just accepting any low grade quality grains or any low grade quality meats into their facility. Everything that they're bringing in is tracked. It's monitored. It's measured. They're making sure that everything that they use is above and beyond, what will be basically good enough for a human, or just good quality ingredients. They're not going to put anything in there that's going to harm your animal. You know what I mean? No mystery meats, no mystery grains. They don't want to do anything to mess up that brand. Is this dog food better than home cooked meals? No. But there's some high quality grains in there with that ground sorghum and that whole grain corn. Like, they don't just use whole grain corn. They just most of the time use the byproduct of the corn. And you got, when it comes to that whole grain corn and that sorghum, what you got to realize is they purposely sort out whole grains instead of using things that were left over. Bran is supposedly good. It has the vitamins, da da da. But in reality, it's a leftover piece of something that will kind of give you a hint that, why is this shit left over? They're just throwing it in there because they can get a good deal on it. But at the same time, it is full of nutrients. So that's the symbol, lets you know, hey, everything in this bag is not going to kill your dog. Next, let's get into the calories per cup. You got 365 calories per cup. Excuse me, it's allergy season out here. Yeah, that 365, that's a good number. I like that number. I like that 365. It's not 450. It's not 400. It's not 270 or 290 or even 300. You got almost 400 calories per cup. So that lets me know it's a lot of calories in this. A lot. It's not over the top, or through the moon, but it's just a nice amount. You don't want to probably put 400, 500 calories in a cup. Maybe that's a representation of something that's just full of grains. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a dog food analyst or an expert on dog food. I can just tell you my take on it. If the best, most expensive, high quality dog foods are in this range between 330, 340 to 400 and something, and then the cheap dog foods that's full of corn or 400 cows, and we know that they're full of corn. It's like you just full of carbohydrates. You got to fill in the blanks. You know what I'm saying? So next, let's look at the feeding instructions. So if you got a 100-pound dog, they talking about give it 3 to 5 cups of food. If you got over 100 pounds, they want you to give a half a cup per 12 pounds. Makes no damn sense. How about we go half a cup per 12 pounds? That makes more sense to me. So 24 pounds, 1 cup, 50 pounds, basically 2 cups. 100 pounds, 4 cups. So yeah, you don't want to, and really break it down a little bit further than that. I'm not going to give my dog more than, I'm thinking I'm giving like 3.5, damn near 4 cups. I'm not filling a whole bowl up. But it's damn near full. It's damn near to the top. You know, I want the dogs to be full. I don't want them to starve, but I don't want to shitstorm, and I don't want to waste my money. I want to be able to feed everybody. So I don't go by this. You know, that matter of fact, it says 3 to 5, 50 to 100. So you know, you feed your dog what you feel is best. Me, I'm going about 3.5 cups, 3 cups, 3.5. I'm thinking. Um, I give this dog food a high score, man. I like this dog food. I didn't use this one yet. This is the first day I used it. I used the other one, but based on the results of the other one, I'm predicting the same results because of that brown rice, you know what I mean, and that sorghum. And basically, when you don't overfeed the dog, you know, a whole bunch of food, when you just feed him just enough so his stomach can break this stuff down and absorb it, shit, you ain't gonna have no problems. So yeah, that's my take on it.